contrary to what one might think, homeschooling a gifted kid is actually pretty hard because of the different wire in the brains, which causes them to have different needs than the typical kid. I've got you covered here. 5 tips for homeschooling gifted kids. Hi guys, I'm Kathleen Lewis. I am a homeschool graduate, homeschool mom, learning enthusiast. Yes, I am gifted, and I have a 4-year-old gifted son, which I just discovered earlier this year. I actually discovered my own giftedness earlier this year, which is suddenly making me look back at my own homeschool experience with a different lens. Understanding, oh, that's why I reacted that way to that curriculum. Or, oh, that's why my mom was always getting attitude about that. So here's my tips from me to you, hopefully helping you avoid some of these problems yourself. First thing for you, and probably the biggest, is avoid repetition as much as possible. Let me illustrate this with the Saxon math saga. So when I was going into 6th grade, my mom heard about this amazing new math curriculum called Saxon Math. And as so many homeschool parents do, she hears all the great reviews about it and decides, hey, let's switch to that. Even though what we're doing is still working for us, but I want to try it out anyways. Sound familiar, anyone? So yeah, she switched me from a great, robust program. We were using BJU Press Math, and she switched me to Saxon. It was weeping and wailing and gnashing of teeth the entire year I did it. She made me stick it out. But the repetition in there, the amount of review, the amount of problems for something I got just like that drove me insane. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I gave my mom a lot of grief about that, but she stuck it out, the angelic person that she is. And she listened to me at the end of the year and switched me back to Bob Jones. Now, she also did the amazing thing of also making sure I was at my level, and this is totally not due to Saxon's program. I was just ahead in math. So she put me immediately into pre-algebra for 7th grade rather than waiting for me to wait till 8th grade. So I was a year ahead of math for the rest of high school. So that experience with Saxon math was so bad, the repetition, the review, the insane amount of problems, that even my husband, decades later, has heard about it. And he knows Saxon is a dirty word in our house. I'm not knocking the Saxon program. It may be great and perfect for a child out there, but let's just say gifted people should stay far away from it. So why is repetition so bad for gifted kid or just a gifted person? That is because our brain is wired in such a way that we learn things just like that. We don't need the 10 examples from the teacher. We get it in 1, we confirm we know it in 2, and we're like, yeah, I've totally got it in 3. Actually, with my son, sometimes 3 is stretching it for him, but I make him do it anyways. Our brains are wired to learn faster. And I recently read some research that's also probably because our senses are so heightened that everyone knows multisensory curriculum is better for learning. Well, the gifted brain has the multisensory heightened input. So apparently that also helps us in retention faster. Yeah, that's news to me. And then there's just the easier retention. So not only do we get it faster, not only is there sensory helping out, but not only is our senses helping out, but our brains just don't forget as easily. We forget, believe me, we do forget things. I think more so moms on mom brain forget things than other gifted people. But gifted people still can forget things. There are a rare few of us that have the I don't know how to pronounce that actually. The memory, the photographic memory. And those are amazing people, but not all of us have that great of memory. So yeah, we still have to review on occasion, but not every single day. Second big thing you need to look for is flexibility in whatever curriculum you're doing. And that is because we love chasing rabbit trails. We love diving deep into things, going off what the curriculum is asking. Plus, we also tend to go at a faster rate if left completely up to us, especially if it's a subject that interests us. So forcing the kid to stay on a specific set schedule is not going to work. You need something a bit more flexible. Third, and this is something I just referenced, we love to go deep. The the typical traditional textbook that is for science and history for elementary is not gonna fly for us. And I say that from experience going through it. I don't think I learned a thing from my experience with BJU Heritage Studies in elementary school. I read books instead from the library. And that's because how the curriculums worked. I was actually looking at it recently for my son. It's not done in such a way to be too much for most kids out there. But the gifted brain, the gifted kid, likes to latch in, sink deep into things. And I describe it like going Mariana Trench deep and scraping the bottom just to make sure you got it all. That's us. So yeah, choose something that allows them to go deep. That's why I like unit studies or one topic type curriculum, because they let you soak, if I can put it that way. They let you soak in the content and often have extensions for you to go even further in the topic. Fourth tip for you is to avoid busy work like the plague. And this ties into something that I've not talked to yet about on the channel, and it's existentialism for the gifted person. Even kids start questioning the meaning of their life. High schoolers are like, I'm a failure. I have not contributed anything to society. So if you're just giving the kids filler work to keep them busy, and this is particularly bad in public classrooms and private classrooms from teachers who don't know how to work with gifted kids, they just give them more worksheets. And the kids are like, this is pointless. There's no reason for me to do this. There's no purpose for me to do this. And that's when you get into major attitude problems. You either get depression from the kids because they're like, I'm not doing anything meaningful here. They don't think I'm smart enough to keep on going to something else. Or you start getting the defiance, the major defiance, which falsely gets diagnosed as oppositional defiance disorder. Because these kids just want to be heard and like, give me something meaningful. I want to have value in my life. So stay away from busy work with a vengeance. Like I said, flee it like it's the bubonic plague. I'll put in one caveat there. Sometimes there's a particular task that kids just latch on for like a day or two just because they find it really interesting, and then they get away from it. And this is typically when they're learning a new skill that they're interested in. For example, when my barely 3-year-old son asked me to teach him how to write, I gave him a Usborne Wipe Clean book, showed him how to have a correct pencil grip, and then just let it go with him. He would spend hours on it every day for a week or two, and then he completely lost interest. He's not really gone back to that level of intensity since. I would call the Wipe Clean books busy work in general, but if the kid is interested, if the kid is asking for it, that would be an exception. Fifth and final tip for you is to give them independence. We say this is what we want for every homeschool kid, but it's particularly true for the gifted kids. Teach them the skills of how to learn, give them a schedule, a plan, some support on direction on what they should learn, and then let them go. This is because you as the parent, you as the educator, do not have the vast quantities of time necessary to help them achieve their learning goals, their learning desires. If my son had it his way, I would be reading to him probably 4+ hours a day. I don't have that kind of time. I don't have the time to be able to explore all these interests with him, so I give him audiobooks. And he can listen to those 4 hours a day if he's interested. I give him, I teach him how to decode a drawing book, which he's got on the table back there. And then he goes bananas following the instructions in there. I teach him the basics. We teach him the basics on how to use a snap circuit set or how to build with Legos. And now his creative brain is just exploding with all the possibilities there. That is what you need to do with the gifted kids. Give them the tools, teach them how to learn, teach them how to figure things out for themselves. Yes, you're a parent, you still need to guide them with their learning. So that's when you say, this is what you need to accomplish today or this week or as they get older this year, and let them go at it. But don't hold them back. If they want to go beyond your schedule, let them fly. Give them independence. This right here is why I'm teaching my 4-year-old son to read, because once he can read, I can give him a library card and an approved book list or authors and let him go bananas. One of the best things my mom did for me, even though we were using traditional school that was very strict and formal and that was great for the family at the time, for our needs, and she did things to modify to make it better for me, and I can go into that a different time. But she gave me a library card, my own library card, I want to say second or third grade, and pretty much let me go at it in the children's section. And actually, I went to the adult section on occasion because there weren't the nonfiction books. Like, I got a giant book on seashells when I was interested in oceanography. She looked through the books before I checked out of the library for the most part, but she let me have free reign, explore my interests with the dozens of library books we got on a weekly basis. She gave me the independence I needed. If you guys have any questions on teaching a gifted kid or my specific experiences that I've referenced in this video, drop that down in the comments. I'd be happy to answer them there, make more videos for you, and just help however you need, because yes, giftedness is hard to deal with as an educator. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to bump that like button and let me know it.